Great morning, everyone. How are you all doing? This is your girl, Shan. Happy Thursday. Like I say every day, I hope all is well with you all. I'm going to go ahead and get into today's topic real quick because I've been thinking on this actually for the past 2 days. So I'm going to ask you, is what you're doing benefiting your marriage and your family? Is what you're doing benefiting your marriage and your family? I'm gonna go ahead and start off, and I will make sure that I post it on the page shortly after this. But I'm gonna go ahead and start off with an article that I read just this morning about how a lady worked herself so hard that her husband found her dead, and guess where she was dead at work. So I was just like, man, this really goes along with what it is that I was going to talk about, or that I'm talking about on this morning. I've heard this for probably about the past 5 or 10 years or whatever. Actually, longer than that, because I heard it earlier growing up in the hood, and it's called paper chasing. That's what they called it back in the day. I'm probably dating myself. But I heard everything you heard about is getting this money, rise and grind to get this money. Money is not evil, but the scriptures does say for the love of money is the root of all evil. And so sometimes in our pursuit, good morning, Alex. How are you doing, sir? Sometimes in our pursuit of money, we abandon all else. We abandon everything else. Now, I'm not going to, good morning, Cousin Kim. I'm not going to, stick with me. That's all I'm gonna say. Stick with me. So anywho, good morning, cousin. I miss you too. So back to what I was saying is, we have to understand that money is not everything in life. Yes, money is what sustains us, take care of our everyday needs. But what I'm starting to see is people are abandoning their spouses. They're abandoning their marriage, and they're abandoning their family for money. But the word of God says for the love of money. Because see, people forget about that part. Only time you think about for the love of money is when you're thinking about who used to sing that song back in the day. I don't know. My daddy used to play it on the records. I don't know who it was. But for the love of money, that was actually a good song, because it said people will kill their own brother for the love of money. Now, is what you're doing benefiting your marriage or your family? Now, let's go ahead and talk about that. Please, for the love of God, do not allow yourself to paper chase so much and love money so much that God has to take you through things just to get your attention. Some things that I speak of, my cousin over here, well, not you, Cousin Kim, but Cousin Michelle, knows for a fact. It wasn't that I was loving money, but I was so passionate about the job that I was doing, which was helping veterans at a time that I would allow myself to get so stressed out that I couldn't even walk. I remember my coworkers had to walk me to my car, and then my ignorant butt drove home when I couldn't even feel my legs. And I couldn't feel my legs because my legs had went out because of my back, But that was, a lot of it had to do with unnecessary stress. And so what we have to think about is what we're doing conducive to our marriage or our family when it comes to paper chasing. You sacrificing time from your husband, your wife, and your kids. Is it for a short-term game? This is why I say stay with me. Because, good morning, Thisha, if you have a goal. So, prime example, it was this couple that I seen that they owed the money to the IRS. They owed some money. You hear me? When I say some money, I'm talking about some money. I'm talking about some thousands to the IRS. And so the husband took it upon himself to work extra shifts and stuff because he was a doctor to pay off. Okay, that's a short-term goal. I'm going to do what I got to do. But see, what I'm starting to learn, and thank God I'm not learning this at the age of 70 and 80. What I'm starting to learn is people get so hung up chasing after this paper, chasing after this money, so hung up on this that they continue to do this even into their late years. What I see the people do, because our mindset sometimes is not set right, is I don't live within my means so I can see my bank account growing. I'm living from paycheck to paycheck. And that's what I'm depending on. But yet and still I'm going further and further in debt. Do you have a goal for the reason why you're working so hard? Because one thing that I know is when you put a lot of stress on yourself, and when you work so hard, something is going to lack. Your marriage is going to lack, your family is going to lack, or your health is going to lack. Especially if you don't practice self-care, which is something that I learned while I attended one of my husband's suicide prevention classes, because he is suicide prevention. God got him working in the area as well. But if you don't practice good self-care, something is going to fail. If you don't plan a vacation to get away, if you don't, just get out of the area. I'm not talking about, because this is what I used to do. I used to take a day off and I sit home and lay in bed all day and watch Judge Judy and Dr. Phil and Oprah and all this other kind of stuff. No, that's not self-care. Self-care is getting out of the area, getting out of the environment once a year, finding a way to relax, because you can work effectively when you're looking forward to your next break. But what you don't want to do is allow your marriage and allow your family to lack because you chasing money. I'm telling you, when I tell you, God has brought so many things, even things that me and my husband haven't even shared yet. God has brought so many things to my attention. Working in a real extremely stressful environment. Sometimes we can stay in something too long that's hazardous to our health. It's dangerous to our health. When I look back on the things that I've been through, I'll give a prime example. Okay, so for those of y'all know, I was prior military, right? So being prior military, I did join the military to be able to take care, good morning, Natasha, to be able to take care of my son, because I was a single parent and I didn't want my baby to lack. And I went through the ridicule and everything of everybody talking about me. How can you leave your child? You an awful mother. I was getting this from people who didn't even have kids. They was like, you an awful mother. I heard it from the time of basic training all the way into the time that I had my son again. But I knew it was a short-term sacrifice to get back to my son and be able to provide for him. So you have people that are in that situation. You have single mothers that's working, single fathers that's working, and things like this. But if you're not working for a goal, then you're working yourself in vain. Because this is what I'm seeing people doing. You working, but you don't see the fruit of your labor. You working and you getting this paper. You working 12 hours, 16 hour, 18-hour days at most, getting 4 hours of sleep, which is very unhealthy from somebody in the medical field. Whoever's in the medical field on her, go ahead and drop it and let these people know that it's very unhealthy when you don't give your body the chance to rest, because it doesn't heal. So you're not benefiting your family. You're not benefiting your husband or your wife. When you constantly thinking about making that money, you don't have a goal. Now, if you working for a short-term goal to say, I want my goal is for my bank account in savings to be at $10,000. Okay, that's a short-term goal, but don't work yourself to where your health is messed up. You see what I'm saying? Now, what I'm seeing is you got people who are working themselves like a dog, but as soon as you get your $1,400 check, half of that is going on, if not all, is going on buying the latest Samsung Galaxy, maybe the latest iPhone, or the latest Jordans. It's nice to reward yourself. It really is. But how is that benefiting you? What is that doing? Good morning, Simone. How is that benefiting you? How is that benefiting your family? Now, if you know what I'm saying? If you got your little savings, your bills is paid and everything like that, then treat yourself, reward yourself, because we do, out of our little paycheck, need to reward ourselves. But what I'm talking about is when your marriage and your family is lacking and suffering, and especially to my people, because y'all know I'm going to talk about being in debt, okay? Especially to my people who are in debt, and you so much in debt you don't even want to look and see how much debt you in. You rather just keep on pushing and keep on pushing. But how are you benefiting? One thing that I've always told my husband, in my mind, my goal is, and I really, I've never really had to work because Mr. King has always provided, or whatever the case may be. But I like to work. I've always liked to work for the extras. You know what I'm saying? Work for the extras, the extra family trips or savings or whatever the case may be. But when you have people that you in debt, you ain't even trying to look and write down on a piece of paper how much in debt you are. You're not trying to work to pay off that debt. You working to continue to live paycheck to paycheck and above your means. But how, again, is that benefiting yourself? How is that benefiting your husband or your wife? And how is that benefiting your family? I'm telling you, I told my husband, I said, when our daughter, our youngest child, graduates from college. She ain't gonna set it all the way down. But good morning, Killer. Hi, you joined us. But this is the thing right here. When you, as I was talking to my homegirl a couple of days ago, and we were talking about this, I told her I will never again put myself in a place or allow myself to be in a place where I'm so stressed out, especially behind a job, that it affects my health in a negative way. Because guess what? This is what we got to think about. This is why we're not whole for ourselves, for our husband or our wife, or for our family. It's because when that health start breaking down, you're dealing with stuff such as depression. You're dealing with stuff such as anxiety. I've seen people who are popping pills just to be able to function day to day. You popping a pill, popping a pill, popping a pill. Trust me, because I had got to a point of depression. I remember specifically, and I'm going to be really transparent in this moment, when I was so stressed out at the last job that I was working. I'm going to be honest, and I know this is an inspirational station or whatever. I had never started drinking wine so much in my life. I wasn't a wino. But I remember specifically taking a bath, and I had a glass of wine because I was stressed out, and for some reason they used to put me to sleep. But listen to what I'm saying. Follow me. And I remember telling my husband to hide all the medication in the house because I was so stressed out. I could see myself taking as much medication. I just wanted to numb myself. Okay? Numb myself. And I remember telling my husband, I said, take all the medication out of the house. And I'm so glad that I told him that. And he looked at me, he said, what? I said, take all the medication out of the house. I think, and that was like in 2014. So it was almost 4 years ago. And so my husband was like, what? And he did it. I don't know. I think he burnt it on the grill. I don't know what my husband did with it, but he took all of it out because I was so, my mind, I just wanted to be numb. I wanted to relax. I wanted to stop my mind from running because I'm a multitasker. To the point to where I had to think about Whitney Houston. And I remember myself saying, fool, you sitting in a tub, you drinking a glass of wine, and your mind is telling you to go and numb yourself with a whole bunch of medication. I wasn't trying to commit suicide, but that's just what my mind was telling me or whatever. And I thank God that my husband listened. But all because I was so over passionate. It wasn't about the money for me. I'm very passionate. Anybody that know me, except just like this, with being on a mission to help save marriages and families, I'm very passionate about what I do. So I need us to get to a place of recognizing, what am I going to do that's going to take a long-term negative effect on myself, on my family, and on my husband and my wife. We got to be cognizant. If you're functioning day to day popping pills, I need us to re-examine. Please don't get to the place of where I am, because I could have popped those pills while I'm drinking that wine, and I could have very well drowned in the water just like Whitney did. Because you get to a place where you think everything is so important and you got to run 50 miles an hour. Baby, let me tell you, do not go without self-care. Do not go without doing something for yourself. And I'm not talking about just sitting in your house on your day off. Plan a vacation. It's not that expensive. Plan going out of town for the weekend. I don't care if you just got to go get you a hotel. Get out of your environment, okay? So ask yourself, why you out here paper chasing, that this is you, and oh, team, no sleep, and oh, you gotta, that is the most, now think about it, that's the most stupidest thing I ever heard. You need to sleep, because that's how God created us, to heal your body at night, okay? Get your tail somewhere and catch you some Z's and sleep so your body can heal the way it needs to, and we don't need to be taking this medication, substituting to try to help our body heal, because all it's doing is, any nurse, my nurses on here can tell you, when you take medication, that's why I say it may cause this, blood pressure, it may cause da-da-da-da-da. That's why I say that, because you're going to take another medication and another medication and another medication. And next thing you know, you on a whole bag full of medication just trying to function day to day. That's not how God created for us to live. So y'all have a blessed day. Don't let anybody steal your joy. Husbands and wives, I need y'all to open up. Mothers and fathers, singles, I need y'all to open up y'all's eyes, and y'all need to see that's not how you're supposed to function. God did not create it. He created for us to be able to enjoy life. You see what I'm saying? Not to sit up here and we paper chasing, trying to get that paper, and we're missing out on our kids growing up. We're missing out on this marriage. We're suffering through a divorce right now, or whatever the case may be, because we're too busy trying to chase money, and money is not what is going to make make us, okay? God said he will provide for our needs. He will give us whatever. All we got to do is line up with him and be obedient. But don't allow yourself to fail as an individual, your marriage to fail, or your family to fail because you're too busy paper chasing. Y'all have a blessed day. Your girl, she ain't gonna keep it real as I always do. I'll be with y'all tomorrow. Don't let anybody steal your joy. Share this because it's free. Be a blessing, not a curse. God bless.